talking about steady income. Elephant Money futures. Absolutely killing it. I mean, what can I say? I started at 50K. I'm already at 70.
Cryptoslo, cryptocurrency news and investing.
Crypto gains. What's going on, guys? I'm in Donald's mode tonight. All right, let's get into it. So Bitcoin 20,217. We fell off this cliff out of that range. So tonight, I kind of wanted to talk about liquidity. Everyone's focused on the black swan events, but we really didn't get a proper bottom in my opinion. And I've been talking about this, I'm not saying it's going to go to 10K, but I do believe we will go lower. So I'm still holding my position that I'm not deploying the majority of my stable coins yet. I do have some exposure on my long-term hodls, but those are on a separate cold wallet and I don't even touch them. So, with the funds that are liquid, try to be a little more scrupulous about what I'm doing. So this, we were basically caught in this, and is it shorts, longs? And I've talked about this, that there's just everything is being controlled by the traders right now. I mean, look at this. We're red across the board. Now that makes me get excited when things get juicy, like I said, because the lesson I learned from the last bull run is, 2 bull runs is when it's low, like low, you have to go crazy. I was very surprised with ETH how well it held up in that 1500 range, slipping down into the 1400s. Looking on a longer term scale though, that dip was a beautiful buying opportunity, and I had bought some, but I didn't go crazy. But, I'm not going to deny that that was a great trade. I mean, you'd still be in profit. So, and on that note of talking trades, so in a couple videos ago, I talked about this new strategy of trading these EMAs, and you have to be patient, and when there's, like I said, this run for liquidity, when the game's over, you're going to get those drops, but with this strategy, you're waiting for the red line crossovers on the triple EMA that you have set up, okay? And I talked about this. I had a 13, 21, and a 55, and then my other one was the 8 SMA. So the premise is that when this crosses from the top to the bottom range of these 3 lines, that it's a buy signal. And then when it crosses back over, it's a sell signal. Now you can see you lost a lot of profits, but if you paid attention and you traded this, you still made a very nice gap. And this is on the daily, so we were down in like the 250s, and even if you were slow, you sold at 275. So it was an excellent trade. So the same thing happened here, but the red line goes above, and then you have the drop. And then, then it goes back to the bottom, and that was your run again, and then you would have traded out. So on this run, it was 265 to 302. So that was $35. So what am I waiting for? I'm waiting for that red line to cross back from the top back to the bottom, and it'll be the perfect BNB setup. So, and this is on the daily, but so far, this is a pretty good strategy to get profits on a kind of a swing trade type situation, if you already have money over. But it kind of works, it basically works for all the tokens, So if we go ETH USDC, let's look at the chart. So what does this chart tell me? This tells me that ETH is most probably very weak, because when you have these crossover bottoms, okay, you lose that percentage, and the last time we had that, it dropped down to like, well, it's hard to catch these super dips. You'll pretty much almost never get one of those unless you're like paying attention hourly and trading. But same concept goes here. You have the hammer candle breaking the line, and we'll swoop. So I mean, I would say this would take us into maybe the 1200 range. That's going to be your point of next resistance, but I'm not deploying yet. So that's BTC and ETH in a nutshell. Going over to Elephant Money, looking solid, and I talked about liquidity, and there's 45,000 BNB in the Elephant BNB pool, and there's a great distribution of the token. This is going to be beautiful. Let's see here. Treasuries. This treasury Dune Analytics was pretty dope to look at, but you can see basically the last time we went into the neckline, Bertha, which is the treasury, was around 150, 160 trillion elephant, okay? And it had a value of, let's see, about eight or $9 million. Now we're going into this. We have we're about to break 119 trillion. And we're going into the break line, but we're going in at a higher level. So, you kind of look here and, you hit that 150, 160, and then bam, the magic happens. And that's what we're all waiting for. Talking about steady income. Elephant Money futures. Absolutely killing it. I mean, what can I say? I started at 50K. I'm already at 70. And like I said, I'm compounding this Elephant Money futures, the best DeFi product out there right now. While everything else is getting liquidity stripped out of it, Elephant Money is continuing to build liquidity into, like I said, into that parabolic rise. So I put in 50, I'm at 70. I think we're at like day 40, 45. So about 20 grand in 45 days. So not bad at all, not bad at all. Now me personally, I've been compounding like a maniac. So that's just my strategy, because I'm trying to turn this into a ultra mega cash machine. So it's filet mignon ever not, my friends. So I'm going to go ahead and compound that puppy up. And let's see where that puts me after the transaction. Transaction complete. 71K, baby. So Elephant Money futures, absolutely killing it. There's just not much else to say. Like I said, you just get in and you compound and you're Gucci. Moving on to my AI stuff. Big data protocol, I did take profits on WTAO. I expect volatility in this. And Tau is the type of project that you just got to choose a point where to get in. But basically, I'll just continue to DCA. I think I got about 5,000 in Tau right now. So not a super huge bag, but we could have a big pullback. And this is the synthetic Tau, which allows you to bridge over to the Nakamoto chain. But I haven't had any problems. It's a bit expensive, so you want to do it in bigger batches, but I'm holding most of mine on the other side in the normal native Tau. Now, there is a staking contract, I think, coming out soon. It was on, let's see, Tau. It might have been the Explorer. No, it wasn't the Explorer. Oh, it's the, yeah. So this is one of the Tau stats page in the staking calculator. So only validators are getting rewards right now, but supposedly after the launch of the Finny network, you'll be able to delegate for 18%. So like I said, Tau for me is a long hold. This could be a several year hold just because it's just getting started, and the biggest part of the inflation is in the beginning. So I want to stack up bags. I would probably have a target of about 1,000 Tau. That would probably be about as deep. Market cap sitting at 317 million. So yeah. Talking about freaking gas, man. This blur mining just continues, and this stupid ETH gas is just relentless. Let's go to 7-day. So there's been some dips, if you look at it, but you got to time it. Like the dips aren't even really that juicy. Like it's, 17, 19. I did hit 14.5 on my Zen FTs the other day. And looking over at the Centurions, they're holding their value. They actually have gone up to 0.485. Talking about Zen, so basically I had my original strategy of trying to get, a solid bag of Centurions, and then my goal is to mint a Centurion, like once a week. That's kind of what I'm doing. But, because you have to remember, I had a big cluster of these Zen NFTs, and I still absolutely believe in the project, and I think it's going to do great things long term. But again, you have to have a super long term horizon. But the biggest key that I can say about Zen, let's see. Yeah, so I've got almost 90 billion coins worth about 66,000 in dashboard money. This has dropped considerably. Supposedly there's other things that are going to start the next token and that, but I'm really not focused on it. Again, my main goal is just to continue to accumulate. But the key here is you want to have those laddered. If you're going to be in Zen, you want to have those laddered stakes so that you have a stake coming due every week. And the first year is the worst because, you got to be in the game for 440 days before everything starts flipping over. And that's probably the hardest part. So if your budget doesn't allow it, just do it on a smaller scale. Don't do so many VMUs, okay? Do like 32 VMUs or 16 VMUs, but try to get those stakes laddered out there. So like, and when I say laddered, I'm doing max mints on everything because nothing else makes sense. But you want fresh coins coming in every week or at least once a month in order to be successful and stay mining with inflation. And that's the thing that people don't realize about Zen is there's most probably going to be miner exhaustion at some point, and that's where people just basically get burnt out on on mining. And the thing about that is, like I said, things have changed since DeFi summer, and you really have to change your perspective and your time frames. Okay, you want to set things up for the next bull. And as I said, I don't think we're not nowhere near a bull run right now. We have Mt. Gox, whatever you want to call it, releasing all those coins. We have the government just transferred like $1 billion of the Bitcoin to Coinbase. Now they'll most likely do that OTC and they won't do it on spot, but it's still selling pressure. And this is about liquidity. And then importantly, also you have the Shanghai update, which allows people to withdraw their ETH from the validators and basically do whatever they want with it. Now keep in mind, when validation started, the price of ETH was very low. So, the reality is people are probably going to take some profits. Now, ETH is known for delays. Everything takes forever on ETH. So who knows when this Shanghai update is going to be. Let's type it. Shanghai update. It's been postponed. Proceeding with caution. So, and actually this plays a good part, and I'll have an upcoming video. So basically you have all these people that are going to be able to pull their ETH out. Well, some are going to sell, but others are going to want to continue earning yield. So the big narrative is liquid staking derivatives, also known as LSD. I had started a little portfolio of these, just tracking them. You had Pendle, Bitfrost, Horde, and then the shared stake governance. So the concept, and the biggest one being Lido, right? I don't have that on here, but it's already kind of mooned. The concept is simple, and is you deposit your ETH because the ETH can be deposited and taken back out, and then they give you a M2 derivative. So like with Lido, it's ST-ETH, so you get the ST-ETH. So it allows you to keep your ETH staked, okay? But then you get a derivative product that you can do stuff with. You can swap it out for other things, buy other coins, hedge it, long it, whatever. So think of it this way. You get your ETH, you stake it, they mint you another coin, and then you can do stuff with that coin. And that's what liquid staking derivatives are in a nutshell. So, but there is risk to them because you could lose peg against ETH, and it just kind of depends on what the ratio is or whatever. So the Shanghai upgrade is definitely going to be a pretty big deal. But, you know, again, it's all about liquidity. And I believe that some people are going to sell. They're going to sell. I mean, that's just how it is. So be prepared for that. So I'm not saying gloom and doom is ahead of us. I'm saying that there is a race for liquidity that is going to continue to intensify. You know, as the macro continues, interest rates keep going up, people need money to live. I do believe we're going to see some continued selling pressure. But that doesn't mean that we can't range up and down, especially with these traders, how they're controlling the market. So anyways, with that, that is tonight's update. You know, it is what it is. I mean, have we crashed? No, I'm not going to call it a crypto crash. I'm not going to clickbait. But I do believe the race for liquidity is on, and this will probably put some negative pressure on the crypto market. So like and subscribe. And as always, this is Cryptoslo. If you're not talking gains, then we're not talking.